Language is a spell book, and you've been spelling yourself into a cage. You ever seen a dog with an invisible electric fence? It's got the whole yard, but it won't move past the border. Why? Because it learned the edge of its reality through pain and repetition. That's exactly what limiting language does to you. Every time you say, I can't, I'm not good at that, I always screw up, that's just the way I am. You're not describing your life, you're prescribing your faith. That's not truth, that's hypnosis. That's a goddamn mind virus passed down like a shitty family recipe that no one questions. And the meta model is your mental antivirus. It doesn't just give you new beliefs. It helps you interrogate your old ones until they fall apart like a cheap IKEA shelf with missing screws. So what the meta model actually does, think, it's a tool shed for thought. Imagine your language is a house. Some rooms are lit, some are locked. Some are infested with bullshit bats that flap around whispering, you're not good enough. The meta model gives you a flashlight, a crowbar, a flamethrower. Deletion. Meta model goes, wait, what's missing? Generalization. Meta model. Always, never. Who says? Distortion. Meta model. Says who? Based on what? You already do this with other people. Your friend says, I'm just not lovable. You say, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You're amazing. Who told you that? But when you say, I suck, your brain goes, yeah bro, confirmed, case closed. Let's cry in the shower now. Well, fuck that. Let's say someone says I'm a failure. You chunk down. What specifically have you failed at? Suddenly, the tsunami of shame becomes a puddle of perspective. You chunk up. What's important about succeeding? Boom. Now you're in value territory. You're getting closer to the why behind the cry. That's how you break the trance. You take vague, heavy language and cut it with questions, like a samurai in a clarity dojo. Sleight of mouth, the verbal judo of change. You want to know how to flip people's beliefs like pancake? Use sleight of mouth patterns. It's like having a toolkit of mental aikido moves. Let's break it down with examples. The belief, I can't do that. The reframe, maybe you can't do it yet. But what if that is the exact moment you're supposed to try? Consequences. What's the cost of continuing to believe that? Redefine. Can't usually means, I haven't figured it out yet. Do you mean you've never done it before? Model of the world. I get that. In my world though, the people who achieve the most usually say, I can't, right before they did. The belief nobody cares. The reality strategy. How exactly did you conclude that? What evidence did you ignore that might suggest otherwise? The counterexample. Who's someone who cared about you at least once? That's not nobody. That's somebody. And somebody is enough to start. Intent. Maybe this belief is just trying to protect you from being hurt again. But is it helping or hurting now? Why does this work? Every belief you hold, it's a neural pathway, like a trail in the woods. Use it enough, it becomes a road. Add emotion, it becomes a highway. Add trauma, now it's a goddamn super highway with toll booths guarded by fear demons. But here's the magic. Questioning a belief, it reroutes the traffic. Challenging it, it's closing roads. Installing new ones creates shortcuts to empowerment. Neuroplasticity says your brain is moldable, not fixed. Your identity is a sculpture, not a statue. So the moment you say, that's just the way I am, you're slapping your sculptor's hands away and saying, leave me ugly. Okay, little one, imagine your thoughts are Lego bricks. If you build a tower that says, I suck, it's not because life gave you shitty bricks. You just used them wrong. Now what if instead you said, I'm learning. I didn't win. I practiced. Nobody yet. But somebody's coming. That's you building a fucking castle instead of a cage. You already do this when you encourage others. Time to do it when it counts the most with yourself. So why are you afraid to do this? Because the moment you change your beliefs, you threaten your identity. And identity is comfortable. Even if it's miserable, it's familiar. Like staying in a toxic relationship where your own fucked up self-talk. Because it's the voice you grew up with. Also, people might get uncomfortable when you grow. You've changed, they'll say. And your job is to say, damn right I did. What? You thought I came here to stay small for your comfort? Confusion is a doorway to change. Confusion isn't the enemy. It's the moment your brain pauses the autopilot and says, wait, what? That's when the door opens. That's when new ideas slip in. You have to disturb the patterns before you can replace them. So don't fear confusion. Use it. Lead with it. Wrap it around truth like honey over medicine. The shit that keeps you stuck and how to burn it. The top limiting loops. I'm not enough. I don't deserve this. I'll mess it up anyway. They won't like me. It's too late. All these are generalizations built on deletions, enforced by distortions. The meta model kicks in. What specifically? According to who? When did you decide that? What would you do if you didn't believe that? Pattern shattered. Belief rewritten. Pace, lead, transform. Let's say someone says, I'm just not confident. You pace. Yeah, I get how that can feel. You link it to values. You probably care about showing up fully, about not faking it, about being real. You lead. And what if confidence isn't pretending? What if it's just proof that you're done apologizing for your power? Boom. Identity shift. If you start doing this more, you become a fucking language alchemist. You spot spells in conversation. You dissolve them in real time. You speak like someone whose words build worlds. People will feel it in your presence. They won't know why they trust you. They just will. And your life, more aligned, more power, more you. If you don't, you'll keep choking on your own inner dialogue, hitting glass ceilings that you call reality, dimming yourself to fit old beliefs that were never yours. And the worst part, you'll think it's fate, when really, it was just lazy-ass thinking and hypnotic repetition. From this moment on, every time you hear a limitation, internal or external, your mind gently whispers, that's not real. That's a spell. Let's break it. Every time you feel stuck, you instinctively ask, where is the assumption here? What belief is hiding under this? And you challenge it, like a badass mental bouncer. You speak with precision. You listen for truth. You rebuild your reality, one empowered phrase at a time. Welcome to your next evolution. You're now a spellbreaker, a belief smith, and a language shaman. Go speak your world into being, or don't. But if you don't, Don't fucking lie to yourself and call it destiny. You know better now. Act like it.